to start walking back in the general direction. Hey YouTube, thank you for joining me for my video today. I'm drawing an old abandoned house that I had taken a picture of many years ago. I can't even remember the last time when I took this picture actually. So I'll be using pen and ink as I usually do on watercolor Strathmore 400 series watercolor paper. I'm going to first start off with this bush in the to the left here. The scene is pretty much November, we'll say that. I'm trying to go for as much realism detail as humanly possible, obviously to a point where it becomes redundant. So as for my usual videos, I usually like to explore places that I draw. That's the theme of my channel. It's basically draw where you explore. My medium of choice is the pen and ink, and I do prefer the watercolor paper as my preferred drawing material. I will periodically be posting some videos on how to draw grass, or how to draw bark, or how to do perspective, 2-point, 3-point perspective, etc. So you can kind of follow me along. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. I'm kind of just rambling really at this point. So it does get pretty tedious when you go to this level of detail, but it is worth it to do it, I think, personally. A lot of artists will just sort of hint at the idea of tree branches or grass or whatever. I like to go all out or nothing. You know, I don't know how to word it. I just think that it just, when you're just showing hints of grass or hints of this or whatever, it's I won't say lazy, but it just, everyone else does that, right? I mean, nobody now anymore does the full detail, full realism, hardly ever, right? And obviously you get exceptions. There are famous artists out there that still do heavy detail, like Robert Bateman or the old Thomas Kincaid. I don't really do cross-hatching. I actually draw each blade of grass. The blades in the foreground are the ones that will stand out, the white ones, yeah, and then I'll just sort of shade in black in the background. And in the distance, I'll just do lines to show, give it a three-dimensional look. And the tops of the blades are grass. As grass gets taller, it will grow like a little seed husk. I'm not sure what the exact word is at the top. So just saying that the grass is very tall. Actually, I was exploring an abandoned place yesterday evening, and for an upcoming video. See, periodically I'll post a few videos about exploring abandoned places as they relate to the drawings I do. So it'll be called Pigma Abandoned Community, and I'll do some drawings revolving around that. I visited a couple cemeteries and a few abandoned homesteads. There was one abandoned homestead that I visited that I kind of found accidental. I was flying the drone over the cemetery, and I went and flew it over a group of trees, a little forested area on the other side of a farmer's field, and I caught a glimpse of the stone ruins of a barn, and saw the roof of an old house. So I had an idea where it was. So the following week I went back there, and which would have been yesterday, I went in there, crossed a few fields. It was about half a kilometer, I guess, to get there. And anyways, when I got to the house, I was standing about 30 feet from it, just sort of looking in the door. And the house is completely surrounded by tall grass and vines. You could hardly see it from 30 feet. But anyways, I said this in my past videos, to trust your instinct when you visit places. Don't go into places if you feel that if you have trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, then don't go in there, right? So yeah, that was it. I just had a very bad vibe about this place, so I turned around and left at that point. And I mentioned in the video, in the audio, that I'll probably go back there, but only if I have people with me. Maybe I'll bring a dog or something like that, or something, right? So. But anyways, that's about it. So. So yeah, this is getting tedious at this point. Oh, yeah, here's a point where my camera went out of focus. I didn't have my my settings on my camera set up right. I have a camera mounted above my drawing table, and I had the autofocus turned off. So please forgive me for that. It will correct itself in a second or two. So I'm just drawing the random sticks in behind there, and putting in the shading in the back with black. So there, just zoomed out again. I'll have to fix that setting on my camera there, so make sure in the future it doesn't go faded out like that. So I'm just going over my pencil sketch of the house right now, and ink, and putting in the textures of the wood for the side porch right here. The dark areas are the shadow, so it gives you an idea of where the sunlight is coming from, right? So I don't know if you saw the ray of sunlight that hit the paper there, that my window is sort of above where I'm sitting, so the sun was setting at the time, so that's where that ray of light was coming in there. So I like to use a ruler here, obviously, just to keep it keep some realism, right? I am getting a little bit technical, but I have a background in architectural design, so I throw that a lot into my my artwork. It helps me a lot with perspective. Oh, there goes my camera again. So I zoomed in, and then my camera went out of focus. So again, it's the manual. I had the autofocus turned off, so it will go back to where it was in a second. So just bear with it for a moment. I'll try in my other videos not to have that same issue there. That dark area at the corner there, up towards the roof on the wall there, that was actually a mistake I made. So I covered it up by just showing it, representing that the wall facade had torn away, and the studs are visible. But really, it was to hide a mistake that I had made. So you can do that a lot of times. I'm just trying to make a point here. You can actually, if you ever make a mistake, you can actually cleverly hide it in some element right here. So I drew another one there, not because of a mistake, but just to say, okay, well, you know, obviously if the facade is torn off in one area, it's going to be off in a few other areas as well. So I try to be realistic, because, you know, obviously you're going to see the framing of the house behind it, and framing is 16 inches on center, so if that helps for making your drawings more realistic. And my camera just went again. Oh, bear with me. I promise I'll try to have that fixed for next time. I'll just have a note on my table saying leave autofocus on for zooming in. So. This house is located in Cape Breton, if you were wondering. I believe it has collapsed by now, so there it's not really, you can't really visit it anymore though, unfortunately. If you saw at the beginning of the video, I had a drone fly over. I use my drone quite a bit to scout ahead, or if I'm on a hike in a new area in a place like that, isolated locations, I'll have my drone with me, and I'll send it up to sort of look around and give me an idea where to go, or what things are of interest. I actually found an old abandoned cemetery with my drone. It was from the 1800s, it was actually from the 1840s. The stones were just sort of sticking up out of the forest in the tall grass. It's kind of crazy how things like that get forgotten about, but someone had been there. There was a sign that had been put up recently acknowledging it. It's called the Macmillan Cemetery in Cape Breton. If you're ever on Google Maps, just type in Big Glen, Glen, Nova Scotia, and you'll see the location. It will just show a forest and a few dirt roads, but there was actually quite the settlement out back 150 years ago at the time. So I'm just using some ink wash here to color in the branches. I'll leave some area unpainted just to show light areas there. I was kind of rushing through this. I guess the tediousness of the whole drawing was starting to get to me, so I don't regret that too much, because it doesn't really show that I was rushing it. It took me about 13 hours to do this whole drawing from start to finish. I had about 13 hours worth of video footage before I put it into time lapse. I never edit out my video when I'm doing artwork. It's just start to finish. That's it. If you see a few jumps here and there, that's might just be because I wasn't recording. But here's just some masking fluid that I had bought on Amazon, and a masking fluid brush. I bought 5 masking fluid brushes in a kit, and they come different sizes, pointy for detail, chisel, wide. So I'm using the chisel and the point masking fluid brushes. I'm just going to mask off some of the grass and and the house as well, as I'll be putting in the sky first thing here. So I'm just applying water with the wide 1/2 inch brush, and then I add in some diluted ink with the same brush, and I sort of sponge it around, just give it a cloudy effect. Actually, it just dried there. There was about an hour where I walked away and let it dry, so my hand's wiping it over the paper. Excuse me, that was just me removing the masking fluid, because you have to push it away. When you have masking fluid left on your paper, you gotta push it off the paper, and which is nice. It doesn't pick up any of the ink hardly, and it's great if you want to mask off areas you don't want to have paint on it. So yeah, I'd put in a little bit of masking fluid on the house. If you can see, it's in blue. Those are areas I want to remain unpainted here, so I'm just putting in the shade and the texture of the wood. So just so it has the same tonal effect and mood as the sky and the overall picture itself. There, I darkened up a few areas as well, just to show some light shadow. It's pretty much the theme is it's a cloudy day with a bit of a sunset, so there's some sun breaking through the clouds, as you can see. You can kind of get an idea of where the sun is coming from. So I'm just pulling off the tape here. I just used painter's masking tape, that's all. Simple, it works very well actually. Leaves a bit of a rough edge, which actually I kind of like. That's it. So just going over, check to see if there's a few little flakes of masking fluid still here and there, so just pushing those off. I usually just run my hand over it. If you notice, I always draw from right to left, only because I'm left-handed. That's the only reason I do that. So if you're right-handed, like most people, then maybe you'll go from left to right. So, because left-handed people, when we write, we drag our hands through our writing. So I have a bit of a dark spot on my left hand on the side. It's permanent now. So so that's it. It's all done, I think. Yeah, that's it. It's all done. So thank you for watching my video, and please like and subscribe and leave some comments if you haven't done so already, and that'd be great. Thank you very much, and God bless. Bye.